ponds back there, so there's one in particular that got stocked. The trout has natural bass in it as well. Food will be provided, and it should be a great morning, even though we might get some rain. But rain's good for fishing.
Mostly they said in the afternoon, so hopefully they'll luck out.
Well, it's always good to fish in the rain, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't like fishing in the rain.
Well, you must not be a real fisherman.
Jim, I used to fish for years, and I don't like fishing in the rain. I don't like getting wet.
It's all part of the experience, you know.
I don't want to have my soap with me when I'm fishing.
Okay, we also have a town-wide tag sale this Saturday. And we don't have any times for that, right? It's just...
It's all day. It's different times. It's on the website.
Different homes.
Yeah. So there's a listing on the Facebook.
You know, the church across the street, I think, is going to be participating in that.
Yeah, it's a big list. So.
And then next week on Tuesday, we have the annual town meeting, which is on Tuesday, May 6th at 7 p.m. here in Town Hall Auditorium.
They got that down here? 7 o'clock?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, consent agenda, I don't believe we have anything there. Opportunity to add urgent agenda items. I don't have any of those either. Finance, transfers and appropriations, we have none. CFO's finance report.
Yes, I handed you guys out the committee's proposed FY26 state budget for municipal aid for Summers. I won't, bore you with all the details, but the highlights really are the Appropriations Committee has reinstated any cuts to ECS. None of this is guaranteed still, obviously, but this is what they're proposing. It would reinstate the cuts to ECS, so it would level fund it in comparison to the current year. The pilot actually sees a $28,000 increase over current year, and Town Aid Road would see an $85,000 increase over the current year. So Town Aid Road doesn't affect the general fund budget, but does, allow Public Works to do more road work, more guardrails, all those things that Todd loves to install. But the pilot and the ECS do directly affect the general fund, so level funding or even a slight increase there helps our projections towards the budget. We budgeted ECS out of level funding, so it's good to see that it's coming out of committee at that amount.
Money going down, right?
Yeah, instead of exactly, the governor was proposing almost a $90,000 cut to it, so.
Guess you knew more than the governor knew. Congratulations.
Well, insider information.
I think the governor's been on he's not been on the winning side lately.
No, he has not been on the winning side lately. And then Tim and I had the bond closing today. We signed our life away for 35 minutes or so, and so on Tuesday we'll actually receive the funds. So that'll be in the bank. The roads paving has already begun. They're hard at work.
Expect to be completed in a few weeks.
They expect to be completed in the next couple of weeks, yeah. So about the time we get the monies in, we won't even have time to invest it and make interest. It'll go right back out the
Pretty
door.
fast. We're going to spend $2 million.
Yep.
Well, you said that my roads for next year now.
Yep.
So I'm hoping, since I've lived there for 31 years and there's nothing but a piece of garbage.
Wow.
No, it's a piece of garbage. You can actually, in the summer, you can actually go out and mow the road because there's so many weeds growing in the cracks. And I'm not making that up.
Well, in Spain they have goats that pick up things like that. So you might want to think
You
about
want me to get a goat and just go around and clean up the cracks in the road?
Oh, man.
So I'll put down the budget. Goat for road cleanup.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. That's excellent. Updates, presentation of scheduled payments. Let's see, we have no amount this week.
I'm happy to make a motion to authorize the payments in the amount of $194,373.41.
I'll second that.
Very good.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Brian, I just noticed with the, some of the payments on the school project, I think, number one, there's a little bit of a delay then, a few weeks, right, from when
Yeah, you're talking about the Collier's payment?
Colliers
Yeah,
and
And
then
then
the
the
attorney as well.
yeah, they had, they were delayed. We got the invoice in just before the last building committee meeting that we had where everything was put on pause.
Yeah.
So those are the only reasons why those show in there.
Now, are those paid from the general fund?
No, those are paid out of the project. It's the remainder of the funds that were there for the design project.
Got it,
Is what
okay.
we were preloading everything with until we got bonding.
Got
We
it.
were going to reimburse the fund
Okay.
when we bonded.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
That was it.
Any further discussion on the motion? All those in support say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Go. Okay, no problem. So next on the agenda, we have updates from boards and commissions. We have none. Pending business, we have none. New business, fire department staffing request. Chief Leonard. You get your spring uniform on, I see.
I did, yeah. Summertime, you know.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. Much cooler.
I can understand.
I have one request before the board tonight. I am requesting that part-time firefighter Matthew Warden be transitioned to full-time starting the week of June 2nd. For this request, I wrote a little bit more of a letter and put a start date in there per Selectman Meyer's request
Thank
from the
you.
last time that last time I came forward with the staffing, but Matt has been with a member of the department paid staff since July 1st as a medic. Again, he's done a tremendous job so far. I've had no issues with him. The members like him. He has been involved in a lot of training. He's been developing training for both the career and the volunteer side. So I think he'd be great to fill up our fifth and final medic spot.
Sounds good.
So that we'll have the 5 full-time?
We'd have 5 full-time medics.
Nice. Excellent.
Okay, I'm good with it.
Very good. We have the money to cover that.
Yeah, they were budgeted. Yeah, there's 2 vacant. Right now, there's technically 2 vacant paramedic positions.
So we don't have, it's already in there.
Great.
Okay,
And
great.
then we're going to post that other position as an EMT firefighter.
Correct.
Right.
That's the second part of my request. I didn't know if I needed to officially request that or just because it is a change.
Yeah, it's right at the end of the letter.
Yeah,
I
it's the
think we
last.
adjusted it in the fiscal year 26 budget, right?
Yeah, we adjusted it
Yeah,
in
we
future
talked about this
budget.
before.
Yeah, we had already discussed.
So yeah, you could probably post it now because by the time you do interviews and actually hire, it would be the new budget.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I was
So,
post it,
Yeah, we have a part-time member interested in taking it already too.
I know they're not usually hard to fill those spots.
No, those ones are easy. Yeah, not compared to the medic one, but so.
Do we need a motion on this request?
Make a motion to change the status of Matthew Warden from part-time to full-time and hire him as a firefighter paramedic effective June 2nd, 2025 pursuant to the collective bargaining agreement.
Second.
Any further discussion on the motion? All those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you.
I submitted my report. Any questions on that while I'm in front of you?
I haven't really had a chance to read it.
Okay. Just, some of the highlights quick, just to let everyone know we've
Yeah,
seen
yeah, you can do that.
a drastic decrease in the number of 911 calls to the firehouse, so our public safety campaign is working.
Oh, so they stopped calling?
Yeah, most people have stopped calling.
Well,
And Summers Connects too.
Yeah, it's going out in Summers Connect. We also,
Those could actually hope to get in the boxes this week, right?
It should go on out Monday, so.
The
That's what we're-
cadet program actually developed a flyer that we're going to print up too, that we could leave some here, bring them to the dump,
Yeah, it's good.
to hand out with the importance of that. So that was something that was very exciting.
We call it a transfer station now, by the way. It's not a dump.
It's a dump.
That's what I call it. I call it the dump too. I was there today.
And obviously, with the weather changing, we're back to doing a lot more outside training. We've done a couple live burns already in the burn house, which is a tremendous experience for the members. So that's the positives. April 26th, we took part in the National Prescription Drug Take Back Day. We took over 50 pounds of unexpired or used medications, needles, and liquids from about 40 people, dropping them off. Brian Lanigan handled the working for that, so he should be given credit for it. It was a good program, good
You guys
success.
done a lot.
He does, yes, he does. And then moving forward, since we've seen a lull in the number of people calling 911, we're going to begin focusing our summer safety messages on brush fire prevention, because obviously it's getting to be that time of year, and then also swimming and water safety.
Well, I hope people have enough sense to not start burning things, you know. Because that was scary a couple of years ago. There were so many of them going on.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's getting worse, and the problem's just becoming, more difficult to tackle.
I mean, with that, how fast the wind's been blowing too. I mean, you get something it'll be out of control real fast.
Are you guys going to do fire extinguisher training for staff anytime soon? I don't remember the last time I did it and how often we're supposed to do it.
Okay, yeah, we'll
Brian
schedule
usually
that.
handles
I say Brian handles that.
Yeah.
So,
He
yeah,
usually contacts me, and then I contact you, Brian.
there we go. Yeah,
Chief, the mutual aid calls,
yes.
can we just get a report on kind of where we're at with them?
Sure.
Typically, that's something we do track, like, how many mutual aid calls.
That'd be a good thing to include in your report.
Okay,
Yeah, definitely.
absolutely, yeah.
Even a breakdown like fire, medical. I mean, you don't have to get crazy, how many heart attacks, but just the big buckets.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thank you.
That's easy. And then the only other thing is we've revamped the cadet program a little bit to try to just make it a little more streamlined, bring in some of make it a little more defined. With that, we've partnered with the school district to begin marrying the two programs so that the students actually can get credit for being part of the cadet program.
That's good.
We're tentatively looking not next school year, but the school year after that to actually try to run an EMT program in the high school as an offering.
Oh, that's great.
So I think it's going to be a great collaboration. And
Well done.
yeah, so Matt Atwood and again Brian Lanigan have been working hard on that too. So
Great job.
Excellent.
yes,
Well, thank you, Chief.
and that is it.
Thank you very much.
Good to see everybody.
Take care.
Next, our CFO has a few items to bring up.
Yep, per the charter, both the tax collector and the assessor are both up for reappointment. The reappointment committee met April 10th for about half hour, 45 minutes. Everybody had, glowing reviews to speak of both of them. I personally, think that both of them are doing a phenomenal job. Alyssa in the tax collector position has maintained our 99.25% collection rate, and either hits it or exceeds it year after year. Continues to seek more training and staying up to date with tax law, which takes work off my hands. I don't have to necessarily, go researching it. She updates me on what is needed. So I'm requesting her reappointment. These actually should have been done at the beginning of April, but schedules wouldn't align for us to get the appointment committee together before then. So these are kind of backdated, but this would put her term through March 31st of 2027.
So we need to have a resolution.
Need a motion.
Yep.
We need a motion to recommend her appointment, Alyssa Hamby,
We do not have any tax sale candidates right now, no.
as Summers tax collector for a 2-year term.
Second that.
expiring.
expiring at 3/31/27.
Excellent. Let's let you further comment that the town definitely benefits from both of these employees.
Yep.
They do an outstanding job. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you.
And then again with the assessor, Karen again, does a phenomenal job in that office. She's always well ahead of schedule with everything. I believe the grand list was ready this year on January 9th or 10th.
Wow.
Most towns were filing extensions, and she was filing the list. In fact, she was so far ahead that when the state changed the motor vehicles, QDS looked at her, back and forth with her and was like, why are you so far ahead with everything? Like, we've got to back out things that you've already done, and you're going to do them again. But again, glowing reviews for her. She continues to seek, training. She's actually doing one in the coming weeks about commercial assessment and appraisal in anticipation of, being able to properly appraise the potential for the mill site, should that actually go through. So staying well ahead of the curve and making sure she's ready for whatever may happen in Summers.
Great. I'll make a motion for that.
Yeah, I have to make a motion to recommend the reappointment of Karen Neal as a Summers assessor for a 2-year term, which expires at 3/31/27.
Second that.
Any further discussion on the motion?
I agree. I know Karen particularly, this was a very tough year with all the changes, the motor vehicle. I think she did a great job. She gave us a heads up early.
Yep.
You worked together. A lot of towns were caught off guard. We weren't.
Yep.
So I appreciate it. Both, Alyssa and Karen, I think.
Great.
Yeah, they do great work.
Yep.
So, thank you.
Thank you for those
No,
comments. All those in support of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you. Next, we have a resolution prepared by the town attorney regarding the HVAC school building committee. As we recall from 2 weeks ago, we dissolved what was then we thought was the existing committee, which was not formed in accordance with state and local statute requirements. So therefore, we turned it over to the attorney, asked him to draft us a resolution. I think we have one he's prepared, and we need to discuss it. And
So, Tim,
Yeah.
not to be difficult,
go
but
ahead.
are they still on the HVAC thing? Or is it, because,
Yeah, well, we put it on hold pending getting additional information, and then while it was on hold, we discovered through discussions with our town attorney that the existing committee was not properly
right,
authorized.
I understand that. But I'm just saying, so the school is going to go back and try to do the HVAC again? There's no...
They still have got...
Okay, because I was talking to the superintendent, he didn't have much to say, and of course, as you know, I've been talking to Jimmy McPeak last night, and I'm still, I know I'm sure I'm probably in the minority in town, but I'm still in favor of, rather than doing the HVAC, I'd like to build a new school.
Well, I'm sure that's something that can be considered in the future. We're going to need a new school sometime, for sure.
But they're going to do the HVAC no matter what.
Well, there's a building committee that is going to be seated sometime soon, and the committee made up of the same 7 members we had previously will likely be on the building committee soon.
We got a list, Carl here. These people here, here's the one.
Yes, they're the
These
ones.
right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not part of the resolution, so
Yeah, that would be a-
you have to establish the building committee first before any more work or decisions can even be made.
You have to, you what? I'm sorry.
You have to- You have to have this resolution to actually form and go to a town meeting to form the building committee. Then they have to be appointed so that then they can actually begin doing the work and having the
Okay.
discussions.
All right. So this is just to get the step going of
Yep.
publicly starting the committee and then just following the correct,
Approving the resolution, first of all.
following the correct procedure, which we
Correct.
didn't do last time.
Exactly.
The town meeting.
Okay.
I think the only thing we need to do is just fill in the bonding amount, which I
Yep.
think we can get for Brian.
Yeah, it was 15 million that has been approved.
Yeah, it was 50 million even, right?
Yep, 15 million even.
Okay, so that's simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we did when they went and we got an extra 5, right?
Yep, 4.5, yeah. So it was
4.5.
10.5 and then another 4.5.
So I'd make a motion that the Board of Selectmen approve the resolution to form a school building committee and set a town meeting date for May 15, 2025 at 7 PM at Town Hall in the auditorium regarding this resolution.
So that'd be May 15th?
Yeah, we have Board of Selectmen.
7:15.
No, we
7
have
o'clock.
a meeting that night. Okay,
Yes.
all right.
7 PM, yes, to act on the resolution.
Need a second for that?
I'll second that, yeah. So we'll also have a town meeting that night?
Yes, sir.
All right. Preceding.
Selectmen, preceding it, so.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be a
So-
regular Board of Selectmen followed by a town meeting, a special town meeting.
So what, the town meeting's gonna be first?
No,
Second.
Second.
Following. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, following. Okay, I'll put that town meeting following. Okay.
Great. Yes. So did you second the motion? Sorry.
I'll second, yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support of the motion say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
Do we need to, in the motion, authorize any notice or anything, or is that just implied?
That's implied. It has to happen
implied.
or else the town meeting can't happen.
Okay, that's what I thought. I can't remember from the resolution if we need to include any of that language, but,
Yeah, not that I'm aware of.
No,
okay.
you did it perfectly.
So you do the posting, the legal notice, and all the required.
Yeah, I was working on that today, so I'll have that out next week.
Okay.
Great. Next is an item with regards to the road, planned road renovation and bonding.
Yep. So we, as I said earlier, we've now closed on the year one plan, the $2 million. The total interest cost came in around 3.3%. Way less than our projections. I believe when they were putting early estimates together, they were projecting in the mid fours. So now that we have actually closed on it and have what we're going to pay annually, we were able to put that into our debt service schedule, which is actually page 3, your little chart here.
See that, yeah.
So you can see how adding those in, the revised debt service moving forward continues to stay lower than it currently is in the current year. So, you know, it's a hard enough market to borrow money in, but to do it and not have a tax impact is pretty nice. So we've begun looking.
Combine them, because like I said, and as I told you earlier, my roads definitely needed it, and so.
So we've been looking at the next year and trying to come up with the most cost-effective plan. Issuing debt comes at a cost. You still have to pay, for a ratings call, you have to pay the financial advisor, you have to pay the attorneys. They're all the ones getting rich on it, and we're just borrowing the money. So Todd and I,
Borrowing more money.
yeah.
to pay for the fee.
So Todd and I looked over the plan, and we had not this year's CIP, but last year's CIP. The Board of Education had come in and requested the parking lots be paved as well at the schools, and Todd agrees they're ready to be paved. Todd also added in the parking lot at Field Road Park. So when we began looking at years 2 and 3 and combining them to try and become more cost effective, those
Parking lots are awfully expensive, aren't they?
I want to look at the plan. I mean, that seems a little bit pricey to me, and I just want to.
Yep.
I definitely think this needs a little bit more detail. I mean,
Yes.
To do the road bonds, but yeah.
Right, so the roads, because like Bob said, his road got pushed off for this year. When the quote came in, it was over the $2 million, including that road, so that one got pushed back to stay underneath the $2 million buffer. So year 2 was originally less, but it's now being increased because that road's being molded into it. So years 2 and 3 with the parking lots comes out to $3.5
Which parking
million.
lot is it for the school?
It's all the parking lots.
All the parking
I don't know
lots.
why we do all in 1 year. I mean, that seems crazy.
No, the parking lots need it. That's good.
So the plan was then to put together a resolution for $3.5 million to put it on the November ballot instead of doing another $2 million
So you gotta
this
put that-
year.
okay.
We would then, this time next year, issue a bond anticipation note for 1 year, and that would cover the first year of paving. And then the following year, so in April, May of 2027, actually issue the bond, roll the ban into it, and do the second year's worth of road work as well. The reason, looking into the future reason doing this, the first payment we would have to make on it would be in 2028, and that's the last payment we have on some outstanding debt currently. So as debt falls off, this new debt would fill its gap, so there would still be no tax impact
Makes sense.
with issuing this.
So you're talking this November then, a $3.5 million referendum?
Yes, a resolution for this November is.
So that there would be a referendum this November?
Yeah, I mean, there's an election either way.
Okay,
So,
so.
we're just adding it to the
It's
ballot.
a normal election, but
Yep.
we'll have a budget.
So by doing this, we anticipate that it would save about $50,000 in issuance costs. Issuing a ban only costs about $20,000 to $30,000 versus a bond, which is about $70,000 to $80,000. So by combining the two into one resolution and then issuing a ban in one bond instead of issuing two separate bonds in 2 separate years, we'd save about $50,000 on issuance costs. And then after that, begin planning how we want to handle years 4 and 5 of the plan as well.
With all these savings you're talking about and possibility that the budget for materials could go down.
Right. I mean, a lot of paving is dependent on the cost of oil. So as the cost of oil goes down, it becomes a little easier or a little cheaper to pave roads.
We just pave more roads, so that's what you're gonna pay.
Yep, and the square
I don't
footage.
disagree with what Bill is saying. You might want to divide the school into 2 separate projects.
Yep.
The first half and the second half. Picking the best and doing the other.
Yep.
half.
And there's no guarantee that we would do them all in 1 year. I mean, the resolution would cover us to be able to take those parking lots, so the schools, Field Road Park, and all of the roads, and kind of map them over a 2-year plan of what would be the most effective way to pave all of that.
Right.
That makes sense.
I'd just like to see more details on the plan. I know Todd had presented it, I think, last year, but
Yep.
it looks like we've made a lot of changes. I know we've also talked about including sidewalk work in the plan. So I'd like to
Potentially in
just
the
see-
future, but it would be a separate, it was never part of the original plan, and honestly, neither were the parking lots. The parking lots are the only part that are different to
This is the
this.
first I'm hearing of the parking lot.
Yep.
That's the thing. I mean,
That's because they were shot down in CIP, because at the time thought we were going to be beginning the HVAC project, and we didn't want to pave parking lots if heavy equipment was going to be moving in and working in the schools.
I just want to see some more details, like how old those parking lots are, what their expected age is. I mean,
All right.
most of them are not. Field Road Park's in bad shape.
Field Road Park is in terrible shape.
The school parking lots are not. So I'm just wondering
All right.
kind of what, and then where sidewalks fit into it as well, because I know we've talked about that. But I mean, I don't
Yep.
I like what you're doing here, but I don't like to hear that our bond are decreasing, because that's assuming no new bond. I mean, we're going to do a school roof. We probably got to bond a fire truck.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's all these things coming.
There's other things down
that
the
are all
road,
gonna,
right?
you know, I mean, and there's potential more work. So,
Yep.
I mean, there's bonds in our future.
Oh, there absolutely are.
Which is going to eat up the capacity. You know?
Right. So this would basically keep us level. So any other issuances, HVAC, like I said, fire engine, any issuances of those would increase that number.
Because this doesn't include HVAC, right?
This does not include HVAC.
Right, that was already an authorized bond.
It's an authorized
It's not
amount,
been issued,
but we have no idea how much we would actually be issuing for.
We could issue
With roads, we know what we're going to issue for because we're going to pay the
So
roads.
this tax impact's a little deceptive because
It could be, yes. Yes,
What you got mapping out, Brian, is good.
the roads plan, though, even through years 4 and 5, based on their timing, would have no tax impact. Any other projects would have tax impact. You're absolutely correct on that.
But there's a lot of here room.
Yes, there is. I mean, you're
There's a lot
absolutely
of
right, Bob.
flexibility.
By the time you get to 2029, when we're beginning to pay for years 2 and 3, and there's a $456,000 gap. Our highest year on the debt that we just issued for the roads, the $2 million, our highest payment was only $294, so that's still $160,000 underneath the current year if that was the payment in 2029. So there's
Looks like we've got room to.
right.
We have
It just continues to shelf
It
down.
would stay flat, yeah.
Yep.
Very good, Brian, thank you.
So yeah, if you don't want to move on it tonight, that's fine.
No, I think it's great.
but we don't have a plan really as far as, I mean, it's the first we're seeing the school.
It is the first of seeing the schools.
I mean,
Years
Todd's
2
not
and
here
3
to
are
answer
already.
questions.
Years 2 and 3 are the same. The only difference is
including
the one road
sidewalks.
is the one road, and there's no sidewalks in here yet because there's no real plan.
Well, we do have a plan. We have a 3-phase plan that I
And
think we
right
need to
now, the
start
majority
funding.
of that, I believe, is paid for by DOT, but I don't have any numbers of what the town would potentially
We've
have
asked
to
for
pay
assistance in funding.
Yeah.
So what would you like us to pass tonight, Brian, seriously?
So if we're going to draft a resolution,
Yes.
I just need the authorization of the board to, do we want to do just the $2 million for year 2 that we had originally planned, or do we want to look at this on a broader picture and do a $3.5 million resolution to present to you all? It probably wouldn't be at the next meeting. It would probably be the beginning of June.
Yeah.
And I've already briefed the Board of Finance on it as well at their last meeting to let them know that there will be a resolution coming. We just don't know what the amount will be yet.
Yeah, I personally think
Yes, we're going to avoid the situation that we had last year where they didn't know about it.
I personally think combining the 2 years into one.
What should go through CIP?
Should this go through CIP?
The road plan.
fine with
Get more detail.
Yeah, the whole road
Yeah,
plan already did.
I mean, I was hoping we were going to have sidewalks in year 3, and it sounds like we don't now, but instead we have a school. So, I mean, and then we also need to be mindful of what's going to pass at a referendum,
I agree.
because we're going to have a lot on the ballot.
Yeah.
We're going to have charter on the ballot as well.
You will.
Yep.
Okay. I'd like to get some more detail from Todd.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I'd like to know the age of the
No,
lots. I'd like to
there's
see
no
the
rush
big
on it. We can do
road
it. I mean, we can do it again in 2 weeks. Todd and I can bring you back some more information in 2 weeks.
But I agree in doing the 2 years. I'm fine with that.
I think it's a great idea, Brian, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, so I think that you've got support for.
All right, so you guys want to do a $3.5 million resolution?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, I would definitely like to do that.
I will, I'll get the attorney moving forward on that. I'll have that ready by the beginning of June, and
We can discuss.
between now and then, we can discuss any
Greater detail
changes, because
on
if
the
it's, if there is some kind of sidewalk impact or something, we could go ahead and roll that in. If it's, another 500,000, it's
Yeah.
changing a number in the resolution, but once we have the draft resolution, the dollar amount is completely negotiable.
Yeah, well, like I said, the bonding one's fine, it's not gonna hurt us, we got a lot of flexibility there.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
So next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of April. Pardon? Yeah, that's mine, thanks. April 17, 2025, regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen. And we need a motion on that.
If we make a motion to approve the minutes of the April 17, 25 regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen.
Second it.
Any further discussion on the motion? All those in support say aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you. Next, we have approval of the minutes of the April 3rd, 2025 special meeting of the Board of Selectmen.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that was when it was up.
Executive session.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting, April 3rd, 2025, at 4 p.m. as presented.
Second.
Should we mention that it's an executive session? Any further discussion on the motion? All those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We're adjourned.